All right, so welcome back. This is going to be a short video, kind of a prequel to a video that I previously recorded, but nevertheless, it's been a little while since I've uploaded just about anything, but that'll be talked about in the next video. In this video, as a prerequisite kind of prequel to the video that I'll be posting tomorrow, just a little bit of biblical wordage, vocabulary made easier to understand when it comes to the principles of the Bible and what it's trying to talk about. Okay, at least in the New Testament, in the words of Christ and some of Christ's following, and some of the stuff that they have to say. Some of it I just completely disregard because it's just bonkers to me. But anyways, get straight to it. 1 John 4:8 and 1 John 4:16 says God is love. Right? Now Christ says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So Christ equals truth. Now, whether we're talking about personalities or not is completely irrelevant at this point, because we're trying to get to the core of things, at the very center. We're trying to get to what the point is of all this. Okay, so God is love and Christ is truth. God begets Christ. Love begets truth. If you love somebody, you tell them the truth, even if it's uncomfortable for you and for them. Okay? Easier said than done a lot of the times. If you're like me, you've been programmed to try and tiptoe around fucking people's feelings for most of your life, and so it becomes a hard thing to do. Everyone gets fucking offended. They find the truth is offensive, which in logical terms is like saying 1 equals 0. But anyways, so you got the biblical character Satan, right? The word Satan, or Ha-Shatan in Hebrew, means opposer or opposite. But in the context of God, Ha-Shatan is the opposer or opposite of God. So what is the opposer or opposite of the force which creates unity? You know, that force of love that brings things together and makes them one and whole. It would be hatred, right? Or fear. They're pretty much synonymous at that point. You know, fear being down here on Yggdrasil. It's like if I were to go over and turn off a light switch, it, instead of being a complete circuit, it disconnects it, whereas love completes or unites the circuit. Okay? And then you've got the Antichrist, which Christ is the Logos, or the logic of God. Hence, theology. Theos plus Logos. Right? God plus Christ. Or love and logic. Or love and truth. Right? So you've got the Antichrist, which would be anti-logos, which would be anti-logic, or fallacy, which would be anti-truth, which comes down to, or boils down, reduces to lies or falsehood. So this would be why Satan is known as the father of lies, and the Antichrist is known as the son of perdition. Perdition being the zero, eternal damnation. Basically, the light switch turns off and it never turns back on. If it's an actual thing, you know, I guess we'll find out. Whereas, in terms of logic, right, you've got the 1 and 0, okay? So, eternal damnation, and you've got oneness, wholeness, whatever you want to look at it as, a complete circuit, which really, circle, it's still a circle, it's still sort of dualistic, but at the same time, we're talking about the circle of life, um, the Ouroboros, the golden ring, we'll get into that, the symbolism behind that at a later time too. But as far as principles, okay, God is love, love begets truth. If you love someone, you're truthful to them, you're honest, right? First and foremost, you gotta start with yourself, right? That's why love your neighbor as yourself. If you love yourself, you'll love your neighbor, right? At least I hope so, and that's the whole point. Christ is saying, love your neighbor as yourself. Now, the caveat to that is if you hate yourself, then you're gonna hate your neighbor if you follow Christ. But anyways, God equals love, love begets truth, and that's the whole point of that. Now, Satan is hatred. Hatred begets lies. If you hate somebody, you're either going to lie about them or you're going to lie to them, or both. You might lie to them about them. You might, and typically that's that kind of petty bullshit that, you see people fucking throwing little darts at each other because they're angry and they're hurt and they want the other person to feel what they're feeling, like that bully victim cycle, right? Where I'm gonna hurt you and you're gonna hurt me, that, like that eternal war curse, where people are fucking picking at each other and trying to get revenge for past stuff and not letting shit go. I've talked about the 12 steps of AA and how it pertains to the Hindu chakras and the chi paths and everything, and clearing all that emotional gunk out, and it's hard to keep up on that, but that's the funny thing is if you read and study and practice what it says in the Vedic scriptures or in the Christian scriptures or the Buddhist scriptures, it's going to do the same thing. It's all basically the same thing, right? With some minor details changing here and there. But the whole point is emotional distress and emotional traumatic events gunk up our pathways for the spirit. If you go too long without clearing that information out and cleansing yourself, then the living water does not flow freely. The light doesn't flow freely. The energy doesn't act in a way that it's supposed to, and your body starts to malfunction. You get disease. You start, in the words of Sadhguru, start putting out, mental diarrhea, where you have these weird ass fits of what I call duality, where the mind just basically breaks. It's like a broken circuit. It's disconnected. A fuse is blown. Something's not right, And so that's what that boils down to. Unity here, okay? We're trying to get to unity. And in a world full of chaos right now where everything's divided, it's only appropriate that we get to unity. Now, at the same time, be aware and be mindful of what it is that you accept as true within your person, okay? Because if it doesn't align with who you are and who you say that you are and who you're trying to be and where you think you're at, it's going to cause that cognitive dissonance all over again. But anyways, it's like 11 o'clock right now. I'm tired. I'm sure everyone else is tired, but I hope everyone gets something out of this. If not, great. You can sit there and throw darts all you want. If you got something to say it. I don't mind. I find it kind of fun to, logically pick apart what people have to say nowadays rather than get so caught up in the emotionalism of it. For the most part, I'm human. I have flaws still. But if you got something out of this, great. Leave a like, subscribe, send it to your buddies. If not, hey, send it to your buddies and make fun of me. I don't care. But I hope everyone gets something out of this, and I hope everyone has a great night. Thanks.